There it is. Seen one of those? Little leather bag on the end of a piece of string. I'm going to spin this thing around in a minute and I'm going to ask Stitch to chase it. In the early stages of his training, I used to tie all his dinner to this thing and just plonk it on the ground in front of his perch, and all he had to do was land on it. But as he's got stronger, I've made it harder and harder to catch. And now I don't let him catch it at all until I think he's done enough work. But the deal is this. The deal is, and there has to be a deal because you will have figured out by the end of the show, I'm not in control here. The deal is if he can dive at me so fast or so cleverly that he hits this thing before he's meant to, he will win. It's game over then, and he gets to eat his dinner without doing any more work. I'll just drop it on the ground. And if he wants to beat me, and sometimes he does beat me, if he wants to beat me, he's got to go fast. To go fast, there are two things you have to do if you're a falcon. You have to go into the wind, which means he's got to go that way. And then you've got to climb. You've got to pull yourself up into the sky. You've got to ride the wind like a surfer rides the waves. And then, when you're up there, you dive. You allow gravity and the wind to do the real work. You allow gravity to double your speed. You allow the wind to treble it. And that means he's got a much greater chance of catching this lure. Now, I've probably confused you totally with all that information, so the best thing I can do is show you. But I'm going to need you and your kids nice and still while we do this bit. Right, in the middle of this lure, we've got a little spot of lunch, a dead, day-old chicken. Similar, but subtly different to the ones in Pet's Corner. No, honest. Okay, Stitch, it's showtime, old chap. Tractor's gone. Thank goodness for that. So he needs to go into the wind, and I could do with him climbing as well, because that really allows him to use gravity and the wind. I've got to judge his speed and his angle and put this thing right in his path, to within inches if I can, without quite letting him touch it. It is not as easy as it looks. I've been doing it for nearly 30 years now, and I still mess up. I can't see a thing when you go into the sun, old chap. Have a look at him. Have a look at his shape. He's shaped like all falcons, with long, thin, pointy wings for slicing through the air like a hot knife cuts through butter. He has nostrils that allow him to breathe at speeds of 100 miles an hour or more. He has nostrils which are, well, specially designed. And he's even got a tummy which is packed with muscle. So when he pulls out of a dive at top speed, the contents of his tummy don't come whizzing out of his bum. And then there's his nervous system, 18 times faster than mine. You need that. You can't afford to make mistakes flying at this kind of speed. Now, he's only young, he's just 3. He might live till he's 30 if I look after him properly. So he's got a long while to go, and he learns incredibly quickly. He's a smart falcon, this one, and a lovely bird to deal with, but he didn't always fly this well. He was a year old when he came to me, and he had been flown before, but he'd been kept in an unsuitable enclosure and flying around in a little shed. He'd worn away all his wingtips. It didn't hurt, it's only feathers, there's no nerves in feathers, but those feathers were broken, and he couldn't even get over the fence that surrounds my bird of prey centre, and it's, whoa, only 6 feet high. So that first year I had him, we had to give him lots of grub, lots of rest, and he changed his feathers over. He grew new ones, and then with the lure like this, we taught him to fly properly. And then when November came, we taught him to hunt, and he loved it, and he's brilliant at it. Now he trusts me to give him shelter from the bad weather. He trusts me to give him water, to give him food, and he trusts me not to work him to the point of exhaustion. So I won't. He can fly around for an hour without breaking into a sweat, but climbing and diving like this will wear him out quickly. It's like a workout down the gym. So it's nearly time to let him have this lure. I'm going to judge it in such a way that if he dives really well, he can hit it with his feet. He'll think he's beaten me, and he'll get to eat his dinner with a smile on his face. So that's the plan now. We'll try and let him hit this lure, but I need you up there. Good boy. This time, it's all yours. Come and get it then. Come on. Something you don't like there, is it all those strange dogs in the audience? Stitch, come on, we've got a show to do. And I think he deserves a clap, don't you? Good boy. Good boy. No, he's just having a good look around because his instincts are telling him to be careful. You see, birds of prey eat one another in the wild and in captivity. The big ones eat the little ones all the way down the line. In the wild, the big birds like the peregrine falcons and the buzzards, they'll eat other birds of prey if they get half a chance. They would eat him. But his instincts are